this city council meeting for April 15th, 2021, 7 o'clock. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Sorry about that. Councilwoman Campbell.
Present.
Councilwoman Gadara.
Present.
Councilwoman Wilson.
Here.
Councilwoman Julian.
Here.
Councilman Stevens.
Here.
Vice Mayor Leon.
Here.
Mayor Harris.
I'm present.
You have a quorum, sir.
All right, please stand for the invocation and pledge allegiance.
God our Father, we thank you for your grace and mercy towards us. We thank you for your many blessings that you bestowed upon our lives. Father, we pray now that you give us your knowledge, your wisdom, and your understanding as we discuss business that affecting people. Father, we pray that you bless the city of Miami Gardens, bless the residents, and bless the leadership of the city. And Father, we promise to give you all the praise, honor, and glory. This I ask in your Son's name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We're gonna order business. Are there any items that need to be pulled, added?
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
A couple things. One, to withdraw the minutes for approval for council's review. The second thing, I emailed the council add-on item number 1, which is agreement with, an amendment to the agreement to the license agreement with World Safe First. Without objections, we're asking that this item be added to the consent agenda as 11.7.
Motion. Second. Been moved and second, all in favor of having this add on and placed on the consent agenda, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? So it added. All right, are there any other items that need to be pulled or added? I think at this time I wanted to move
11.3.
11.3. You're pulling that?
Yes.
Councilwoman? Okay, short pull. Mr. Clerk, I'd like to have item 12.1 moved ahead of the consent agenda.
Duly noted, sir.
Showing that there's no, do we have any special presentations?
No, sir.
No special presentations. All right, we start public comments.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor, just, can we just get a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
Gotcha.
Motion.
Been
Second.
moved and seconded. Show it through.
All right, there are no special presentations or on public comment. Mr. Mayor, we do have a lot of public comments this evening. We're gonna go ahead and start off with the in-person public comments. The first one we're gonna call is former Councilman Airborne Gadara.
Airborne Gadara, 17220 Northwest 20th Avenue. Let me preface my remarks by saying in the age of the Me Too movement, no still means no. In my opinion, this resolution is nothing but a sweetheart deal that benefits no one but the cronies of Hard Rock Stadium. Just about 8 months ago, this community said no to Formula One. And in our community, no means no. I remember sponsoring a resolution that was unanimously supported by our city council to join the lawsuit filed by this community against Formula One. What happened between 8 months ago and now? Only the passage of time and one election. And there is one coming up 400 days less. I'm sure this community will remember. In the middle of a pandemic of coronavirus, we are heightening the fears of our residents. Let me be clear. Formula One is the burden of one more infectious nightmare that these residents of Miami Gardens are not willing to bear. Elected officials are supposed to be the voice of their people. The residents of the city of Miami said no to Formula One. And the elected officials listened. Just about 2 weeks ago, spring breakers came to South Beach, most of them black kids. And the residents complained, and the mayor shut the city down. I mean, this supposed resolution, you have acknowledged the risk to residents of hazard of environmental factors. You said monitoring sensors are going to be placed in this facility. Monitoring in our community is reactionary. We don't need to monitor, we need to act and protect our residents. No means no. What is $5 million? If you divide that amount by every resident, that is $4.87 per resident. And if you compound that by 9 years, it is zero or nominal return on investment to this community. Any money that brings pollution to our community is dirty money. And we do not take dirty money in Miami Gardens. In fact, I heard someone in the dais mention recently that not all money is good money. Well, in Miami Gardens, we don't only reject bad money, we don't need dirty money. No means no. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilman.
Mr. Mayor, Council, each person will be coming up one-on-one, and they'll be given their name for the record on the podium.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody. You speak now?
Yes.
Betty Ferguson, 1625 Northwest 180th Terrace. Good evening. I'm here, I'm sure you know, that I'm here to ask you to please vote no on Resolution 12.1, and whatever the latest version of that is. I only have 2 minutes, so please forgive me for rushing. The resolution, which I believe was written by the Dolphins, mostly speaks to unenforceable promises that the Dolphins want you to believe. Even if you believe the vague, meaningless, and unenforceable promises, it should not be enough to buy a vote for the Dolphins when your constituents have expressed strong opposition to Formula One racing at the Hard Rock Stadium. I'm sure you remember that the last Miami Gardens Council and Mayor voted unanimously to stand with the homeowners against Formula One racing. And by the way, the stadium may be owned by Steve Ross, but the land it sits on is owned by the county. I believe the last council voted to support the homeowners because they read the professional studies from all around the country, not just the ones that the Dolphins paid for, that talk about noise pollution, air pollution, and traffic nightmares created by 195,000 visitors attracted to F1 races. Too much to dump in the city of Miami Gardens. So why Resolution 12.1 now? Why now? Without even coming back to the community. What has changed? What has changed? Is it the amount of money put on the table? Or maybe the Dolphins threatened to sue Miami Gardens? I think Miami Gardens has a pretty sharp attorney, and we paid the attorney to defend us. The homeowners have already filed a lawsuit in federal court against the Dolphins. And why not wait to see what the federal judge says? Please vote no on Resolution 12.1 to at least confirm, as the last council did, that you represent the people who live in Miami Gardens, not just the ones who make the money here and take it back to their own communities. Please vote no. Don't disrespect us in this way. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Burns. We'll instruct them to make sure they limit their time to 2 minutes.
All right, we'll go ahead and invite him outside.
Right here?
Good evening. My name is Amy Coleman. I live at 2841 Northwest 212 Street, Miami Gardens, Florida. The money offered in Resolution 12.1 as community benefits is an insult. Neither the residents nor local businesses will receive more than pocket change for the hundreds of millions that Steve Ross will put in his pocket. What we will receive is horrific noise, traffic, and pollution. The health of our children, our parents, and every person in Miami Gardens is not resale for sale, period. And thank you. This is all I have to say.
Thank you, Ms. Cole.
Okay. Thank you, Congress.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Susan Smith. I reside at 20533 Northwest 22nd Place, Miami Gardens, 33056. Good evening to each of you. I am sorely disappointed in this Resolution 12.1. Sorely disappointed. After a previous vote by several of you vehemently opposed to it. It was a unanimous vote over a year ago against Formula One. And now to see this again, It's quite disappointing. My grandmother would say it's a scandalous and a shame. Over a year ago, there was a resounding no from Miami Gardens residents. And many of you heard that. And ladies and gentlemen of the dais, that no stands today. The deleterious effects of a Formula One race on your constituents are far greater than the proposed $5 million that the city will receive over an almost 10-year period. It's as if you're going to betray your constituents. So I ask you, please rescind this resolution and vote no on Amendment 12.1 or Resolution 12.1. We do not want Formula One in our backyard. Let me repeat that. We do not want Formula One in our backyard, in our neighborhood, the entire city of Miami Gardens. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Smith.
Good evening. My name is Brenda Martin Providence. I live at 2021 Northwest 154th Street in the beautiful city of Miami Gardens. We elected you people. You are one of us. You are elected officials of the city of Miami Gardens. We trust you. We believe in the process. We come to meetings, we go to Zooms, we do what you need us to do. We would like for you to do what we need you to do. 2 years ago, some of you guys voted with us against Formula One. We don't know what changed with you, but nothing changed with us. The fact that you want to negotiate with Hard Rock Stadium is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's going to damage our community. I am the only person, probably, I'm not sure, in the city of Miami Gardens that's ever been to a Formula One race. I know how loud it is. I know the damage it's going to do to our community. We didn't come here to fight this fight again. We came to implore you to do what we pay you to do, and that's represent us. And if you think that the majority of Miami Gardens is for this race, then you vote for them. But I'm here to tell you that the majority of Miami Gardens is not for this race. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you, Ms. Providence.
Greetings, Mayor and council members of the city of Miami Gardens. My name is Daniela Pierre, address 7151 Northwest 14th Place, apartment 105, Miami, Florida. I rise today to speak on behalf of the Miami-Dade branch of the NAACP, where I serve as president. The NAACP supports initiatives that strengthen community resilience, livability, energy efficiency, and clean energy policies and practices, which advance environmental and climate justice. We do not support harmful emissions, as it violates air quality standards and poses evaluated health risks based on several scientific studies. People of color and low-income communities are disproportionately affected by exposure to air pollution. Reports even show that children who live in those areas lose on average of 20 school days each year. Therefore, standards that protect Black and brown communities from pollution are not only necessary, but critical. And that the NAACP has pushed for more and fair environmental movement for years, we boldly rise up against systems that spew out carbon and toxic pollutants into communities of color. And we will continue to do so until we win. For these reasons and more, on behalf of the Miami-Dade branch of the NAACP, the Florida State Conference, and the support of our national office, we join in with UPPAC, various homeowners, a host of voters of this community to say no to Formula One racing in Miami Gardens. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Peter.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council. My name is Fred Kemp. I reside at 20141 Northwest 14th Place, Miami Gardens, 23169. And in the words of George Floyd, I can't breathe. And I also say, I can't hear. I'm also a member of the Miracle here, and with bringing this Formula One racing in our neighborhood, I won't be able to hear, and I won't be able to breathe. So I'm against it. And I think that any decision that you all make, some of you I know, and some of you I don't know. But I've spoken before at the Miami-Dade City Hall, New Council, at Northern and here. I'm quite sure some I know, they know my way of thinking. We put you in this office for accountability purposes. Don't turn your back on us. Be a man that you do the right thing for the citizen of the city of Miami.
Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Darrell Hosendorf, 1176 Northwest 2230 Drive, Miami Gardens. I am the first vice president of Miami-Dade branch of the NAACP. I also happen to be a business owner in the community and one of the few who do consider done at Formula One. I did 2 races downtown in Miami as well as one out in California. The environmental studies clearly show if you've never been to one of these races, that burn of the tire and that slowly it remains with you. The noise, that pinging noise, it remains with you. So we're totally against F1 coming to Miami Gardens because of the long-term impact it will have on your residents. Trust me, if you look at where these races are held, they're normally held around areas of water and wind. California, all in the water, the wind and the sea takes the smell, takes those smells away from you. Downtown didn't want it. When they had it years back, there were not 10,000 residents of downtown Miami. Now they are. This is a bedroom community. That race is not good for the residents. It does not benefit them. Health-wise, it's going to impact these kids for a long, long time. Imagine having tar. Most of you had a roof, smell that tar smell on a roof. That's what you'll have in your nose, in your house for weeks. It will not go away. It's going to remain here as well as those fumes from the gas. So we want to come here and share, but I am a special event person. Almost every major venue in South Florida, from the Marlins, the Heat, the Dolphins, I've done them all, even the race downtown. And prior to me doing the race downtown, I was contracted to go out to California to see how it works. These races are held around water, particularly to take that smell away. There is no water in Miami Gardens to take that smell away. The canal will not exist. So again, we're here in support of just saying no to F1. It's not good for the community. It's not good for the kids. It's not good for the residents. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Mayor, Council, Madam Attorney. Good evening. I'm Eric Knowles, President of the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce, 100 South Biscayne Boulevard. I come before you on behalf of Formula One, but not only Formula One, Steve Ross, former employee of Hard Rock Stadium and Miami Dolphins. I have firsthand knowledge of the transformation that Steve has taken, single-handedly brought to this world-class venue and soon to be this world-class city. Third largest municipality in the state of Florida, home of Hard Rock Stadium. 20 stadiums are publicly funded. Hard Rock Stadium, and Steve has increased the tax base from $3 million to $7 million roughly. Because of his foresight to bring Miami open to spend upwards of $700 million to ensure that world-class events continue, such as college championship, the Super Bowl, world-class soccer, and soon the Orange Bowl, the Orange Blossom Classic. I was here the first year when Jasmine Gardens only sold 200 tickets, and now it's grown to over 70,000 attendees. Like Jasmine Gardens and other world-class events, Formula One will draw patrons from around the world to witness the hospitality of the beautiful city of Miami Gardens and Miami-Dade County. When I think back when I established the role models of the game, bringing and recognizing young men of up to 5,000 role models program, and how it has grown far beyond the game. It speaks to Steve's commitment to our community, and this was done long before Black Lives Matter. What the Dolphins organization has established under Nat Moore, Jason Jenkins, and Tom Garfinkel leadership speaks volumes. I see this as the second chapter of many more to come. To continue building on the future of what Miami Gardens will become, to build on the partnership that has been established. They have listened and removed all the barriers, removing the event off of 199th Street, not running during school hours, establishing sound barriers, and my predominant focus, creating opportunities for area businesses to participate within the event and ensuring that Black contractors will participate in building out the event, not to speak about feeding the community during the pandemic and establishing the cancer challenge. I stand on behalf of the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce in support of Formula One. Thank you, Mr. Moore.
Can I take this off? Good evening. My name is Howard Dupree, 1734 Northwest 192nd Street. First of all, two items. Agenda item, I think it's 11.6. I'm in favor for it. I just want to remind you that there is one business there that is a nuisance in the county right now. And I hope we're prepared to, supply resources, police resources to make sure that that business doesn't cause bad publicity for the city. There's a shooting or killing there often. And then I think you know the business I'm talking about on the corner across from the Publix warehouse. So just be aware of that. The second item is 12.1. Like you, I lived here for like 30 years because I love for the city, a passionate love for the city. I could have moved out like a lot of my other neighbors. I chose to stay here because I trusted my local government to have my interests at heart, and along with all the other citizens. For this, for my safety and my quality of life, including my family. And I didn't always agree with decisions that my local government made, but because of the love I have for the city, I stayed. But if you decide to vote for 12.1, I cannot live with that. And I'll probably take the route of leaving the city. You probably don't care, but thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dupree.
Good evening, Anna,
Good evening.
for my city council, folks. I want to look around. You can see you all over there as well. My name is Kathleen Gaiman. I'm the second generation, family, owner. We owned our home here in Miami Gardens for over 56 years.
Excuse me, can you please, state your address for the record, please?
I'm sorry, and I think he told you I'm extremely hard here.
Also, you need to.
Okay, my name is Kathleen Damon. I live at 5 Northwest 196th Street in Miami Gardens, 33169, District 1. And let me start out with saying that you represent us. I know most of you are new here. That doesn't matter. It doesn't change how I feel about this issue, or how many other people feel about it as well. The facts are the facts. Read and watch our past city meetings, and perhaps even watch meetings from the Miami-Dade County. This is a bedroom community, and Grand Prix racing is bad for people. This is not acres of open farm land. These are our homes, and we go outside, and so do our sick elderly and our grandchildren. We grow vegetable gardens, and our homes, they will be draped with these chemicals, and we will also be deafened with the sounds. Hard Rock's 10-year Grand Prix car racing. The racing is, the dangers far outweigh the profits that are being put on our community. How many times or ways do we have to tell you? Perhaps, or how many ways do we have to tell you? No, please, no. No to the Hard Rock racing in Miami Gardens. Remember that you represent us, your residents. So if you are our city leaders, if you are not for us, then you must be against us. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and council members of the city of Miami Gardens. My name is Gail Olivia Cunningham. My address for the record is 19001 Northwest 14th Avenue Road, Miami Gardens, Florida 33169. I've been a resident of the Miami Gardens community since 1980, and I'm a member of the Miami-Dade chapter of the NAACP. As a member of one of the oldest civil rights organizations in our history, in our nation's history, we support initiatives that strengthen community resilience, buildability, energy efficiency, and clean energy policies, practices which advance environmental and climate justice. We don't support harmful emissions. People of color and low-income communities are disproportionately affected by exposure to air pollution. Therefore, standards that protect communities from this pollution are critical. For these reasons and much more, we join in support with UPAC various homeowners associations, and a host of taxpayers of this community to say no, no, no to Formula One racing in Miami Gardens. Thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you for coming.
Good evening. My name is Ruby Hughes. I live at 3335 Northwest 180th Street, Miami Gardens, Florida. I'm asking you to vote no for Formula One racing. Remember, you were elected as council members for the city of Miami Gardens. Represent residents and homeowners, and not Stephen Ross and the Miami Dolphins. You see, they already have their beef on our necks. So tell me, are you agreeing to stand by, looking on, allowing the pressure, or will you take a stand to let us breathe? You know, I listen as you pray in every council meeting, thanking God for your health and well-being. Our health is not for sale. Where will you stand? Our community is not for sale. Where will you stand? I ask you, for what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his soul? Where will you stand? Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Mary Reed. I reside at 1521 Northwest 168th Terrace. I come before you in total opposition of Resolution 12-1. My home is currently, within the last year, an FAA flight pattern. I hear airplanes day and night. The brownfield situation in Miami Gardens should be also considered. I'm concerned about that also. Who and the residents of Miami Gardens depend on to protect our health from the effects of Formula One racing in our business community? Why are we not heard when we said no to the race? Every other municipality said it resounding no. The former mayor of Miami-Dade County sure didn't. Our Miami Gardens mayor and council people, members, why are we denied the same right to a healthy, safe community and environment? Thank you. I hope that you consider my conversation. Thank you.
Ms. Reed.
Good evening, Mr.
Good evening.
Janice Coakley, 19681 Northwest 33rd Avenue. I'm here to speak on Formula One. I have a former Girl Scout who's an adult now. She has a daughter that attends Northern Hill. Right now, she is fighting on breast cancer. She lives on the east side of that Meadow. She is fighting this cancer. This is not healthy for the community or the environment. I do not know how you will vote tonight, but I hope you are voting against it. Do your own research. Do not listen to who presents to you. Remember, the residents put you here, and the residents could take you out. Vote no and be in the favor of the residents. And also, I want to speak on about Juneteenth. It's a resolution for $80,000. The breakdown for the 80,000 really doesn't say what it's going to be spent on. As a resident, I prefer you to recognize that as a legal holiday and take that $80,000 and give the employee off. But vote no for Formula One. If not, elections coming up. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Copeland.
Good evening. My name is Lily Bell. I reside at 2740 Northwest 210 Terrace, Miami Gardens, Florida, 33056. Today I'm here like many activists that have been frontline warriors speaking on environmental justice and human rights violations at the grassroots for the equality of life and health for our children, communities in the United States, and around the world where people of color are impacted, challenging the government. Over 20 years, Bill Clinton signed Executive Order 12898, requiring every federal agent to address environmental justice for people of color. Laws that are secured for the people of color to receive environmental justice protection for their community. The EPA Office on Environmental Justice goal is to protect human health and communities when impacted by pollution. So therefore, I will address environmental issues, social, economic, and racial inequality in the United States of America for the people of color. I, Lily Mae Bell, oppose Formula One racing, Resolution 12-1, and I quote, "My human rights must not be compromised." Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bell.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Linda Mobley. My address is 3261 Northwest 23rd Street, Miami Gardens, Florida, 33056. My concern about Formula One is that my community safety and well-being will come first. And it's not about money, because in my family I was taught all money is not good money. And you cannot buy us as a community. We're looking after our kids, we don't want the service of the noise and the build up and so forth. And you're talking about $5 million in your loan to spend the debt and God, it's not about that. By the time you look at that, by the time they subtract, you might have $2 million. And come down and find out where the expense they got to deduct that. And you won't even know where that money is going after that. So we oppose, I know I oppose that Formula One. Because like I said, Jasmine and Garden, that's another thing that they're trying to get us, because mostly it's predominantly blacks that go there. And it's no longer Jasmine and Garden, it's Jazz Power Garden. So my thing is, I say no to Formula One, because I worry about the health and welfare of the person, and I don't put value money on that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kevin Zier, 3225 Northwest 204 Terrace, Miami Gardens. Mr. Mayor, council, staff, and fellow citizens. Some African tribes were paid to capture other Africans for slavery and West. Some Native Americans were promised that they could keep their land if they helped the settlers to take other people, Native people's land. How well did it work out for them? One of my proudest moments as a lifelong citizen of Miami Gardens is when the entire city council, Commissioner Jordan, and the majority of the county commission stood with the Miami Gardens residents against Formula One. What has changed? The city of Miami continues to stand with its citizens in opposition to Formula One. Resolution 12.1 doesn't address the many concerns expressed by our homeowners, devastating noise and air pollution and traffic congestion. Why should we believe the Dolphins? In the 80s, they promised that the stadium would only have a few games every 2 years. And if you read the resolution, several aspects of it are in scope. What community benefits exist for the stadium now? So why should we believe more promises? We will recall anyone who favors Steve Ross over the people who elected him. He may have more money, but we have money and votes, and we will not do it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of the City Council. My name is Al Dotson of Gills and Sunburg, with offices of 1450 Brickell Avenue, here to speak in favor of 12.1. I want to first briefly talk about the history of the partnership between the city and the stadium. And I want to then touch on the partnership that's before the council today. I think everybody on the dais knows that the stadium to be a good corporate citizen and has made a tremendous difference in this community. On the philanthropic side, the work done by the organization speaks for itself. The food relief program, which has been focused almost exclusively on Miami Gardens, distributed hundreds of thousands of meals to residents. Thousands of meals were purchased from local minority-owned restaurants that were on the brink during the pandemic. Those restaurants went from being on the brink to now being given an opportunity to showcase their local brand in one of the world's most prestigious sporting events. That is the power of partnership. And they're not done yet. Clients are not done yet. Recognizing the end, recognizing the needs continue, the stadium is now extending the food relief program beyond the original one-year term, ushering in even more needed assistance during these challenging times. But the philanthropic components are just one piece of this great partnership that we've enjoyed. In terms of education programming, the organization funded the construction trade certification program in partnership with Florida Memorial University, which provide members of the community with vocational training to find good paying jobs. Not to mention the mentorship programs funded at City Year and Carroll City High School. These are impacts that don't just last a day or a week, but last a lifetime. And for those who say the organization may do good work, it doesn't care about the homeowners, well, we know that's just not true. When the organization heard about the Lake Lucerne fire and the access issues created by having only one exit from the neighborhood, they immediately offered a $250,000 no strings attached commitment to start the process of solving for that problem. Not to mention the millions paid to the Ferguson's Neighborhood Improvement Fund since the 1990s. And that is just a snapshot. We all know that this organization does so much more, including creating the single largest fundraiser in all of professional sports right here in Miami Gardens, with the Dolphins Challenge Cancer, which has now raised more than $40 million for cancer research in South Florida. Not to mention Jazz in the Gardens, which the stadium subsidizes. The legendary Orange Blossom Classic, which the stadium has revived in partnership with the city and partnership with the city, and the relocation of the training facility, which brought the Miami Dolphins practice facility from Davie back to Miami Gardens where it belongs. So if we're going to be have an honest conversation about partnership, we have to recognize that the city and the stadium have embarked on some great ones together, that they have made a real difference in the lives of residents and businesses, both in Miami Gardens and the entire region. I know my clients are proud of these partnerships, and I think the same holds true for this council and this community. Today, we embark on a new partnership. We all know the history here. The stadium is zoned for big events, including automotive events specifically. That is not changing here today. What is being decided today is how the next great partnership between the city and the stadium organization will play out. With a $5 million hard commitment and a robust package of additional benefits, including an internship that will continue the efforts to excite local students about STEM and careers in sports and entertainment. This is one of the most significant and meaningful sports partnerships ever forged in South Florida. So you unfortunately continue to hear misinformation that's out there. You've heard that the race is going to be weeks on end. It's 2.5 days. You know that the Dolphins and the stadium ownership have changed the course in direct response to listening to the residents. No racing at all on 199th Street, and no racing during school hours. So we listen, we perform, and in fact, we believe we overperform. Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Jason Jenkins from Hard Rock Stadium. My address is 347 Constable Drive, Miami Gardens, 33056. I'm speaking in favor of Formula One. As you heard, Albie kind of outlined all of our community opportunities, but for me, Mayor and council members, thank you for allowing me to say a couple words here today. You know, in my role, I'm only one of the people responsible for working with the city, our community, and our restaurant partners to activate this relationship. I just want to stress, this is not a one-off, this is a long-term relationship in terms of the Miami Dolphins, Hard Rock Stadium being here in our community. I'll kind of walk through some of our community initiatives, but you know, we're proud of work with organizations like 5,000 World One Fixing Project. Each year we hold a police and youth conference at our stadium, talk about improving relationships between young men and law enforcement. We're also proud of work with organizations like Circle of Brotherhood, Embrace Girls, Generation Cure, His House, the resource room, Trayvon Moore Foundation, Weather and Sea Miami, and a host of others. Again, these aren't one-off relationships. Our work in the community is long. We're proud to continue this relationship and partnership. Education is one of our pillars. Our players got together and formed a social connected. They want to make sure they can impact their education. How can they do that? Here in Miami Gardens, working with Florida University for our construction and training program. We've seen some transformational change in a short amount of time. We talk about the food relief program, but this is something that's very dear, to me. This was started and funded by Stephen Ross and Tom Rockman with an idea to feed the community, help local business and restaurants, some of which you'll be hearing from today, and also invest in our community away from the pandemic. It's multi-million-dollar commitment, and that need will continue as people continue going forward. So we're proud to work together to activate this partnership, which we feel when Miami Gardens is the first African-American city in the world to host F1, a world-class event. But also working with you to make sure these benefits directly impact Miami Gardens in a meaningful way for our community, our residents, and the businesses that have been such great partners for us, and we're blessed to have this opportunity to great partners around. So we're going to attack this partnership like everything we've done. So on behalf of Stephen Ross, Tom Garfinkel, we appreciate all the work to get to this point. We're going to make sure we get city of Miami Gardens as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening to all. Good evening. I'm Francis Radu, address 89 North 14th Street, Miami Gardens, Florida. Let me begin by thanking Mayor Rodney Harris, Vice Mayor Reggie Leon, and Councilwoman Katrina Wilson, who joined the immediate past mayor and council members on October 23rd, 2019, and unanimously adopted resolution number 2019-220-339, objecting to the proposal of Formula One racing at Hard Rock Stadium. Since then, the issues and concerns that was mitigated then rejecting the racing at the stadium that influenced your unanimous vote has not changed. And I sincerely hope that those that are still here have not changed also. For the 4 members that were newly elected or appointed, I am quietly praying that with your undying concern and commitment to the quiet enjoyment and quality of life for our residents of Miami Gardens, that you will do as they did and vote no to item number 12.2. Having recently celebrated our Christian faith during our Holy Week leading up to Good Friday, I am sure that most of you are familiar with Judas and the 30 pieces of silver that he sold out Jesus Christ for. Having read the 4 reasons that the doctors of Hard Rock Stadium have stated that they're doing the offerings to garner your vote, it is not just or enough to warrant our priceless health and quality of life to support their financial windfalls as we suffer for their benefit. The power is in your hands as our elected officials. You live amongst us, we live amongst you, not the Hard Rock or their representatives. Therefore, we humbly ask and respectfully ask that you join us in safeguarding our community by voting no on item 12.2. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Radu.
One second, I need to turn my phone off.
No problem.
Thank you. Good evening, council members, mayor and staff. I know you can do the last time, I can do myself, but I know I have to keep it on. I want to thank you for allowing us as school members and others to come and address you this evening on this topic of Formula One. I don't have to say that it's very contentious and we have all kinds of decisions and how people feel about it. And so I want to share with you how I feel, but I would like to share this from a position that we hear all the time. And that is about how much economics and how much that stuff is going to do for the city of Montreal. And I've heard that forever. The economics that we had when we wanted to start this city was that it had no money and it had no value. And y'all can't do that. You're too poor. Now all of a sudden,
Could you pull the mic down just a little bit?
right here,
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
and I didn't tell you my name, I'm sorry. I was supposed to say your name. And I was in London. And so now, what has happened is we have become a city, a Nordic city where people love to come and have fun and do all those things that cities are supposed to provide. Everyone else wants it. And they can tell us how much it's going to benefit us economically. But we've been here since 2003, and we're still lacking a lot of economics to be developed in this city. I looked at the MOU, and there are some particular things in there. I'm going to direct this just directly to the elected officials
citizens of this city. There is so much in that MOU. I don't know if you read it. If you haven't, you absolutely need to read what is in that MOU. I'm gonna start from the back and go back. I was looking at the last part in there, which is, it's in the last part, so it's supposed to be the last thing we question. It talks about jazz in the gardens. Now, everyone around and out of this state and in this country know we love jazz in the gardens. You know, I love it. I started. And it's great. It has done some wonderful things. And it actually did what we wanted it to do when it started. We wanted people to know about this place called Miami Gardens. We wanted them to know that we can do things greater than anyone else. We can take class, action, we can do that. And we can have something here, people would be here shooting and trying and tearing up. We did that. We accomplished that. We got a lot of Black people who made a lot of money with jazz in the park. We did all that. Now it's the last portion in this MOU. And you know what it says? If you work with us on what we have in here, we'll let you keep jazz in the gardens. That's really what it says. Because if you don't agree to do those things, there's going to be a different kind of conversation. I love jazz in the gardens. It served a purpose. It is not work. I'm going to repeat this. Jazz in the gardens is not work what we are going to lose. We can party anytime. You know, we love to party. We can party right this second. It is not enough when you say they can not take jazz in the garden and you let them have what they want. Get rid of jazz in the gardens. It ain't that important, people. We missed it for a whole year. Did anybody lose anything? Did you lose your mind? Did you stop knowing how to dance? I don't think so. But if you use that as your only bargaining tool, and that's what they put in there, I'm very upset that they even put it in there. And you said, well, they're gonna take jazz in the garden, let them do that. You know what? Give them something that you tell them you don't want. Because they want to take something from you that you really should have. And you're getting caught up in the feel good. That should never have been in there. It really has nothing to do with what we're talking about now. Tell them to take jazz in the garden. You'll find something else. You also have in there my elected officials. Things they want to make a deal with. You should not be making a deal. It is not fair to do that. You're giving up too much to get nothing. It is too much that you have to go back to the table with them for them to discuss with you. If you don't do one thing. And that $5 million, I don't know what the budget was last year. But it was a whole lot more than $5 million. And the way they want to have you spend that $5 million, it's not worth it. They want to give you all this, and we've been dealing with doing jazz in the garden since we started. They ain't been fair from the time we started. They give us a hard time every year. Now they want to be good to you. Please don't let them do that. My peace of mind, everyone living in the city, everyone who comes in here is worth more than $5 million. It really ain't no money with the budget. I know the budget gotta be over $100-something million. I don't know. $5 million to the people who are so rich here, it means nothing. They probably fly to Vegas and gamble for a little bit and come back home on the jet. Do not take that. I would ask that each of you, if you have salary, and if you don't, your ready staff person, and 2 people here that I know they know what they're doing. And I'm gonna call their names. Your attorney and your city manager. They know what they're doing. That MOU, it should be taken apart, part by part, and looked at in its entirety. Please don't accept that the way it is. Now, if you go back and you really read it, you really understand it,
that you want? Okay. Do not take what you have now. I don't care who put it together, the way it is now, it is not beneficial to the city. Stop letting people tell you they're gonna do something for your children. They're gonna make something at the school. It should have been done by the school anyway. Why are you gonna give it up now? It's too much in there. I'm begging you. If you're gonna give up what is best in this city, give it up for something. This is not anything that you want to give up. I don't know how much money the city has. I have no idea of that. But I do know the team that I think, and I know how hard, not Mr. Ross, but the entity of the stadium, I know how hard they fought us. I know. You might not know. I know. I'm begging you. You don't have to make this decision. Nothing is gonna fall apart here. I don't care about them going to the park. When you really need them at the park, what do? And if they meant anything, all this stuff that they knew they were going to do, it would have been done a couple years or 3 years, at least kind of fool you to make you think it was trying to do something. Think about what you're doing. You got staff, insist that they go through that memo. You have staff over there, make sure they go through that memo with you. It should fit in line with what you have, the strategic plan. If it ain't in your strategic plan, you should not be playing house with anybody about anything in this city. I have faith in all of you. You're intelligent black people. You run in a city, run it like you mean it. And then when they come in there and put something, they did something for some black organization. What's the big deal? They should have been feeding the poor. And if you think they get no tax break, shame on each of you if you think that. It's big money on poor people. And there's so much money rolling out because of COVID. It's just only makes sense. So much money out there. Please don't believe that there's no money. Went to a restaurant the other week and the lady said, I said, how's things going with COVID? She said, man, we done made more money since we opened this place 20 years ago. Don't think that there's no money. And they are making money. And I say to you again, please, don't take this little bit for nothing. I'm going to end by saying this to you. I didn't grow up in the private community. I had an uncle and an aunt who did with 5 children. My uncle was working, my aunt couldn't work because they said, if you work, we are going to take your benefit. So they couldn't work. And I'm sure some of you probably know it. They were made not to work, to keep what they had. We ain't gonna keep what we got to lose what we can have. I thank you for your time. I thank you for listening. I'm telling you again, please. That star that you're looking at, it ain't about nothing. We have given up so much to make everybody else here melting the unit. And it has not come to us yet. If it ain't coming all these years, even before Jazz and Garden, before the city, it ain't coming now. Thank you so much. Please, do your job. We don't care if you stand up. That's why we elected you to stand up. Do not disappoint us. I have a 9-year-old girl granddaughter, and you better bet I teach her to be like her grandma, and she ain't going nowhere. All of our children need to understand that when they are looking at you, you need to do your job. You can say no, we don't care. We got you. Give us something to get you for. I thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And this is hard work to do, but I know you can do it. And I see we got some ladies up there. All right, sisters, don't let me down. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good evening, members of the commission, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, Mr. City Manager, City Attorney, and employees. My name is Barbara Jordan, retired commissioner for District 1, and I'm a resident of the city of Miami Gardens since 1970. I value my home. We bought our home in 1970 for $29,500. I think everybody should love to get a home for that price today. I don't know about you, but I get calls every day. I get letters of inquiry from investors who want to buy my home because the market is ripe to sell. Miami Gardens is prime land. It's prime property because of its location. Its location to I-95 and its location in terms of the turnpike. You are going to have speculators who are going to come to you and offer you sums of money to buy your property. You have the opportunity zone that was created under President whose name I refuse to call, who basically created that legislation so that communities such as ours, you can have the speculators and people who want to be investors to come in and offer you sums of money with the promise of prosperity, which will never happen and you will never benefit from. You know, one of my predecessors, Betty Ferguson, had insight into what the stadium could do to a community, and she led a fight many years ago in order to make certain demands from the Dolphins before they built. At that time, it was called Joe Robbie Stadium. Those demands included stipulations that to this day benefit all of us. To this day, we don't have traffic coming down 22nd Avenue, 17th Avenue, or 25th Avenue because the wall is there to stop the traffic from coming. Unfortunately, it's not the same for the rest of our avenues. The Dolphins have an agreement with the state, with the turnpike, that certain traffic is cut off at a certain time of day. Cannot come through this area so that the traffic coming in can be easily get here from the stadium, which means that all the traffic from the turnpike, which is usually designed to feed out, comes into our city. So they can't get off on the turnpike, so they'll come down Palmetto. And that's why we have the kind of traffic that we have. That come into our community, that box us in, so that we can't go out and we can't move. And unfortunately, one day we had a fire on the corner of 207th Street and 27th Avenue. And the most horrible thing happened. The most horrible thing happened because that fire was right at the entrance of that community. It was at the entrance, so you could not get in and you could not get out. School buses could not drop off kids because of the traffic. It was at that time that I sat down with the Dolphins, with Calder, with the Commerce Park investors to develop a plan on how to create another road as an exit. However, Calder pointed out, as well as some of the others, we'll participate in this process, but we're not the ones who are creating the problem. The problem is being created by the Dolphins and the amount of events that they have. This community has given to the Dolphins for years. Yes, we have enjoyed some of the benefits, but it's minuscule compared to what this community has given. When you think about the fact that the Dolphins right now in their schedule more than 106 events a year in our community, what does that do for your property values? What does it do for the quality of life for our children and for our seniors and for our schools? As a commissioner for 16 years, I supported things that the Dolphins wanted to do. I can't even recall an item that they brought before me as an elected official that I did not support. But of course, I wanted to make sure that whatever I support, the city council also supported. A couple of the events that they supported, of course, was Jazz in the Gardens, and they have been a partner with them. The city wanted to have, I think, Rolling Loud, and they were a partner with that. 106 events. This Formula One race, those of you who may not remember, who may not have ever attended one, believe me, it is not something that is going to be glorified in Miami Gardens. It will not even be named after Miami Gardens. It will be called the Miami Grand Prix. I fought hard when they had the orange gold here to make sure that they said the city of Miami Gardens. If they don't have the decency to even name it the Miami Gardens Grand Prix, they're naming it the Miami Grand Prix because of what they can do promotional wise and say Miami Grand Prix. You know, the city of Miami, it gives you the palm trees and the beaches and all the glorified images that nationally attracts people. This race is not a one-day race. It's a 3-day race. It starts on a Thursday, Friday, actually it's 4 days because they have practice on Thursdays. The race itself, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now, I understand that this may seem attractive to you, but we're not talking about a crowd that comes in the jeans and t-shirt crowd. We're talking about the crowd, which is the wine and cheese crowd. They're the people who are picked up at the hotels and dropped off a block away and walk here. They will not be walking down 27th Avenue and patronizing our businesses. They will not be doing that because everything that the stadium has is self-contained. It's designed to be spent there. Now, why did they bring this item back after your council, this council, an item sponsored by Riddick Odom, put before this commission, this council, basically forbidding, voting no against this race coming to the city of Miami Gardens. Unanimous vote by this council. And now they disrespect the city so much that they're bringing it back to you again. Why? Because you have 4 new people. And they want a second item after. 3 of you were sitting here and voted no before. And you knew then, as I'm sure you know now, that this is not something that's really in the best interest of our community. Oh yeah, they offered a few trinkets, and I call them trinkets. You know, they tell you they're going to give you internships. Let me say this. When I served as your commissioner for District 1, I got 5 internships from the Dolphins every year for 16 years. But 3 months out of the year, all summer long. I got them from El Dorado. I got them from the car dealerships off 441. These are things that the business community is supposed to do. They're not doing you any favors. $5 million sounds like a lot of money, but it's nothing. It's nothing for what they are doing to our community. 3 days of noise, 3 days of pollution, 3 days of traffic issues in our community. Not 1 day for a football game, but 3 days. But why did they bring it back now? They want you to disrespect the vote of the last council and change and submit to them. They even went so far as to prepare the item. They prepared the item that you have before you. Now, yes, you know, they know what they want to do. Why do they bring it now? Because the last council voted no. So they needed to bring it back to you and prey on the fact that you're new and you're going to change your mind. And they will be able to do what they want to do. But they're not wise enough to know that you were elected by the people of Miami Gardens. Either they're not wise enough or they don't care. They don't respect it. They don't respect us as a community. Knowing that a lawsuit has been filed, they know that. They got notification of it. It was filed in the state. The lawsuit by the homeowners associations was filed over a year ago. That lawsuit, they wanted the lawsuit thrown out. It was not thrown out. Basically, what happened was now it's on the federal level. And it's been stronger because we're not just saying about noise pollution, air pollution. We're talking about the kind of thing that happens in minority communities has been added to the lawsuit. Environmental racism. That's exactly what it is. Environmental racism. You, as a new commissioner, each one of you, if you allow them to disrespect the old vote, what's going to happen when you get out of office and something comes out and they disrespect your vote? Respect the vote of the people who elected you to office, who elected you to represent them. Respect my vote. I voted for my representative. I voted for Shannon. I voted for the mayor. I voted for this community. When he was on the city as a council member, I met with the mayor. The mayor and I have talked, and we've talked this time. And believe it or not, even though, Mr. Mayor, you're sponsoring this item, I know in my heart that you voted last time, Katrina, and also you, I'm sorry, Commissioner Wilson, Councilwoman Wilson, Councilman Leon, Mr. Mayor, you voted last time, you said no. I urge you, Mr. Mayor, I said to you before, withdraw the item. Don't do this, please. Don't do this to the community. And I urge that each of you not listen to the power and the money of the Miami office, because $5 million is just a trinket. When you look at the fact that they're going to go back and tell you that if you go out and get one of their sponsors to come up and do something extra, and I know that they made some last minute changes and maybe this is one of them. But if you go out and get one of their sponsors to go out and improve one of your parks, they're going to deduct it from the $5 million. It's pennies. It's pennies that they want to give you. Don't take away your dignity by voting for this item, because to me, that's exactly what you would be doing. And you will not be representing the vote of the people who put you here. Thank you very much for hearing me out.
Thank you, Commissioner. All right, Mr. Mayor, and council, that was our last in-person comments. Now we're going to go to the comments on virtual Zoom. I asked all those on Zoom who hear me to please click the raise hand icon so that our IT techs can go ahead and bring you into the meeting to provide your public comment. When you get on the comment, please state your name and address for the record. And the first person I'm calling up is Aurora Ellington.
You just called it. Yeah, just called it.
Ms. Ellington?
Good evening. Good evening.
Hi, good evening. Please state your name and address for the record. You have 2 minutes.
One moment, there's a feedback on my end. Okay. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon or good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We, Mr. and Mrs. Wayne and Ellery Ellington, resides at 205-15 Northwest 23rd Avenue, Miami Gardens, Florida, 33056. My husband and myself and our beautiful 16-year-old daughter, Faith Ann, are the homeowners and residents of the above of Miami Gardens. We purchased our home 13 years ago and love our city, Miami Gardens. We are writing to make our voices heard that we are against Formula One racing coming to Hard Rock Stadium. Our city elected officials, especially Lake Serene Councilman Vice Mayor Reggie Leon, make sure you all vote no on this proposal. The audacity of the Hard Rock Stadium to insult the residents of Miami Gardens by wanting to bring Formula One racing to a residential neighborhood is preposterous. But what is even more sad and insulting is to see the predominantly all Black elected officials in the third largest city in Miami-Dade County, which is made up of predominantly Black residents, agreeing, I hope not, to sell us out to the stadium. We thought this matter was settled from last year when we passionately made our voices heard at the town hall meeting held at New Orleans Senior High School, when we picketed outside the stadium and called City Hall to say a resounding no to this, not in our backyard. We, the residents in Lake Lucerne, are the most impacted by events that are held at the stadium. Our main street is one way in and one way out. Now you also want to erect industrial walls to block residents' view at Snake Creek Canal. We could go on and on about why this is bad for our neighborhood. But my husband and I would be redundant because all stakeholders involved know why this would be detrimental to our community. Mr. Mayor and City Council members, please vote no. Remember, we vote you in and we can vote you out. We will ask for a recall if our wishes are not adhered to. Thank you. Have a good evening. Respectfully yours, Mr. and Mrs. Wayne Ellington and Faith Ann Bonner Lewis.
Thank you, Ms. Ellington. All right, next speaker is Jennifer Neal.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council people and staff. My name is Jennifer Nehofer, and I'm here representing my family and the community. I live in Lake Lucerne, Miami Gardens, Florida, 33056, and I am in total opposition of the resolution 12.1. It is insulting, and I am really disappointed that this item is coming back to the table, even though it has been voted anonymously on October the 23rd, 2019. Our previous council voted no, and we still have some from the previous council on the council. And for the Dolphins to come back with this item is insulting. This is not beneficial to the community. This is not beneficial to the elderly. Miami Gardens has a lot of elderly people. Lake Lucerne has a lot of elderly people. This is not quality of life, having a Formula One race in the bedroom area of Miami Gardens. So Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council, I ask you to please to strongly vote no for resolution 12.1. Please listen to the people, listen to your community, listen to our heart. We have children, I have children, and I do want to continue to live in Miami Gardens and enjoy a quality and a vibrant life in the city of Miami Gardens. So please, once again, I ask you if you could please vote no for item number 12.1. The Formula One race. No means no. It's time to put our foot down as a city. It's time to put our foot down and to let the Miami Dolphins know that there is a local city body, a local city government They have to respect our local city government. It's time for them to know that you guys are there, you guys have authority, and you guys are going to impose your authority. Thank you and have a good night.
We can't hear the mayor, the city manager.
I need to, oh, this.
Hello?
Need your name and address for the record.
Who? Who?
Hello.
I had a letter to be read.
Okay, you can go ahead and read that.
I'm not sure who this is, so once I got all the written communications, I'll read the written communications after I'm finished with this Zoom call, so we'll go to the next person.
Okay.
All right, the next person is Rosalind Cox.
Ms. Cox?
Yes, good evening. My name is Rosalind Cox. I reside at 18605 Northwest 10th Court, Miami Gardens, Florida, 33169. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak on behalf of the employees here at Miami Dolphins. I just like to say I'm joined here today at the Hard Rock Stadium by my coworkers and my fellow supporters, as well as those who reside here in Miami Gardens. While I understand there are some folks that are concerned and don't want events here at the stadium, I do understand. They are concerned about the inconvenience that it creates, but this is about income to us. Thanks to the Miami Dolphin, the Hard Rock Stadium, I have been allowed to recruit throughout the Miami Gardens community with our young adults of all ages. They're getting their first job opportunities here at the stadium. And on the other side, many members of the senior community works out here and work with the events and earn extra monies for their families as well. Canceling events is painful to us. We just went through this year something horrible, and it was very tough on all of us. F1 is a huge deal. It's a weekend of activities, and it's going to allow me to recruit and help others by getting hired to work here for the weekend, for all of these nice events that they have, as well as bring income to their families. That means that we need to progress here at Miami Gardens, here in our city, connecting with the city, connecting with the Miami Dolphins, connecting with the community and the businesses. Growth is what is needed. Growth is what is needed. Let's stand together and unite as one, making Miami Gardens the city that is talked about all over the world. We can do this. We need this. The Dolphins have allowed many opportunities, not only here in Miami Gardens, but throughout Miami-Dade County. For many years, I worked through the schools. I've seen the growth what was given, and it's about our youth as well. So we're asking, please allow the city of Miami Gardens to grow, not only for our youth, but for those in years to come. Now I'm going to pass it over to one of our business partners to share her words.
Hello, hello. My name is Rolanda Benjamin. I am the owner of Lovely's. I want to start by using one word, and it is inclusion. It's where the Miami Dolphins and the Hard Rock Stadium included small businesses like myself. This is a great opportunity to open ourselves up to a new market of new patrons, for our supporters to participate in a sport that may not have always been embraced or included us. A lot of times we just see it on TV. This time we'll be able to actually live it. As a resident and a business owner of Miami Gardens, through much sacrifice, my family and I have pushed through the pandemic. When the pandemic hit, we seemed like we were fighting for money just to stay open. We knew we had the talent and our food is second to none, yet we were battling a system that was larger than us. When the Miami Dolphins came to us, this opportunity, we saw the light at the end of the tunnel. We were able to provide our community in a time of need, and I was able to provide for my employees. I said this before, working with the Dolphins, just being a partner with them, that was a dream. This gives small businesses and restaurants like me the ability to put money right back into our community. We now have the ability to increase our pay, renovate our restaurant, and introduce new menu items to, everyone, which will be a benefit, not only just to Miami Gardens, for anyone who's visiting. A lot of people shop on Yelp and Google before they actually visit a city. And that's how we're found as small businesses. So it is very important to us that we reach, people from all walks of life. I'm always grateful for the opportunity to represent small minority businesses and make our dreams come true. It's a reality for me. So we doing what we do and continue to do. There's no stopping us when we join forces with the Hard Rock Stadium and the Miami Dolphins. So I say we vote yes for it.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening. My name is Goldie Turner Puka. I'm a resident of Miami Gardens and also a first-time business owner here. I've been actually open a year and 4 months. And my address of my restaurant is 18587 Northwest 27th Avenue. And I reside at 1770 Northwest 189th Terrace. I'm very grateful for the Miami Dolphin Foundation. As a first-time business owner, it's been really hard due to the pandemic. In the plaza, I believe I was the only one open. And let me tell you, Miami Dolphins, I am so grateful. And I am so grateful for Miami City Hall. During the times on their lunch breaks, they come out and support, love it or like it. And I'm grateful for that. So I pray that each and every one in Miami Gardens and have a business here in Miami Gardens. Thank God for the Miami Dolphin Foundation.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Owner and founder of Nola Bites restaurant located at 4114 Northwest 167th Street in a beautiful city of Miami Gardens. I want to thank you, and I often say we because myself and my team members have fought really, really hard to be able to have a business. And within the pandemic and without the pandemic, it's always hard to start. I'm a 36-year-old mother of two, and I know how hard, and I'm sure you guys know how hard it is to build anything up from the ground. So we want to thank you for allowing us to partner with you, Imani Short, Jerry Andrews, and Ms. Newbanks. Thank you so much for your contribution to our business. Our team members have been able to stay afloat, taking care of their families. One thing I do want to talk about really briefly is that we also serve not just within the community, but we serve children, charter schools, private schools, and we know firsthand about the difficulties of food insecurity. And so when the Miami Dolphins wanted to partner with us so that they can so gracefully and sacrificially, elegantly feed the community, the churches, inner city, the rec centers. It was a beautiful thing, and we understood it because we knew that at school, that's the only place some of the children were able to eat all day long. And so we want to just put that out there on tonight. And again, thank you, and thank you.
All right, the next person we're gonna call up is, we're gonna recall back up Lynette Jones.
Ms. Jones?
Yes, thank you very much. I am speaking on agenda item 12.1. In 2018, Formula One Grand Prix racing was on the city streets in Miami, and it was rejected due to the excessive noise, environmental pollution, and traffic chaos. In 2021, the citizens of Miami Gardens had the same concerns. It appears that rather than finding another location for this racing event, billionaire Stephen Ross appears to have strategically waited long enough for supported leaders that have been selected or elected to the Miami Gardens City Council to approve his event. First, the body of the resolution appears to have been crafted by the Dolphins organization. Secondly, that $5 million amount may sway many people, but it really translates to $500,000 per year over a 10-year period. And in the multi-billionaire world of Stephen Ross, that's just chump change. So don't sell yourself short. We needed to have a town hall meeting with our mayor, council members, and the public to further examine this resolution. At that meeting, we could have been able to dialogue and ask questions. I have attended the meetings previously held regarding this. And as the many sentiments of the community, we said no, we did not want racing in our community. Furthermore, I don't want people to think that because you dangle money in the face of the city and or Black people, that we will just fall in line. We are not for sale. The philanthropic causes of toy drives, lunches, frozen turkeys, laptops, Black backpacks, or even Black college games are not enough for this community. We need real economic development. That includes major retail chains, major chain restaurants, major tourism-related enterprise fund for the city. We need major office parks and prospering small businesses that create jobs and opportunities for the citizens of Miami Gardens. We need multi-year agreements that will provide a source of sustainability for our city. After 18 years of existence, we still remain a commuter city. We live in this city. However, we must drive to another city to shop, eat, and find entertainment. We can definitely do better, and I'm urging all of the members of this current council to vote no on this resolution. Thank you for hearing me, and thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. All right, the next person we're gonna call is Pastor Arthur Jackson.
Pastor Jackson.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Again, this is Pastor Art Jackson. And of course, I serve as the senior pastor of the Antioch Church in the beautiful city of Miami Gardens. And I want to thank you for this opportunity to come and just kind of speak in relationship to the potential partnership with Miami Gardens and the Hard Rock Stadium. With respect to everyone who made your comments, I want to kind of speak in terms of the influence and the impact that the organization has had on Miami Gardens. As all of you know, a year ago, our world changed, and we experienced this pandemic, something that we had never heard of before. And as a result, houses of worship, synagogues, mosques, schools, businesses, all were forced to close. And as a result, food insecurity skyrocketed in our community, and not just our community, but just around the country. And I've said this before, and I hope it's not an offense, but whenever white America gets a cold, Black America really catches the pneumonia. We get the worst of everything. And as a man of faith, I knew that some kind of way God was going to provide. I just didn't know through whom he was going to use to provide. And out of the blue, I received correspondence from the Dolphin organization in terms of creating this partnership that would enable hundreds and thousands of persons on a daily basis to receive meals. And while some may call it dangling trinkets or whatnot, this has been a major, tremendous blessing in our community. I've witnessed firsthand how persons who would not have otherwise received support were able to receive meals. I've seen firsthand how business owners, Black business owners, restaurant owners were included in the meal prep and preparation. And I just, again, applaud their efforts. Out of the gate, they embarked on a year-long initiative to do this and have extended it beyond the year. And to put it quite frankly, this organization that we're referring to tonight is one that not only delivers, but it over-delivers. It's one that goes beyond the call of duty to make themselves or present themselves as neighbors in our community. And I would like to urge those members of the dais to consider entering into this historic partnership. Again, my comments are not based on anything that I'm receiving in my pocket, but based on what I've received in my heart. I've witnessed this firsthand, and I want to put emphasis on that because so often times when persons in our community have a varying opinion, the thought is somebody is getting paid or somebody's on the payroll. But I want to go on record tonight by saying that, yes, I am getting something out of this deal. And what I've gotten out of the deal was witnessing firsthand the number of people who've been blessed by this organization, the number of people who've been helped by this organization. What I'm getting out of it is the satisfaction of seeing the number of business owners, some on this call tonight, some have you've already heard, who would have been forced to close their doors if it has not been for the partnership of the Dolphin Foundation, the Dolphin organization. And so I strongly urge the members of this dais that you would consider continuing partnership with an organization such as this, one that really has gone beyond the call of duty to put the needs of the community, in my opinion, first. And so I thank you for this opportunity to share my thoughts. I respect every comment that I've heard and I've been on since I've gotten out of Bible class. And I pray that we are able to, if we disagree, to disagree without becoming disagreeable. I really believe that everyone who's spoken tonight has the City of Miami Gardens at their best interest. And I'm sharing my opinion, which I believe that a partnership with Dolphin Stadium is one that should be continued. Thank you so much for your time, gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Pastor. All right, the next person is Ruth Bonnie. Ruth.
Hello, could you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, everybody, all the councilmen and women. I would like to first thank the Dolphins, like a lot of other business owners spoke about earlier. We were fortunate enough to partner up with the Dolphins, and through that partnership, we were able to feed a lot of people and also feed our own families. So, you know, with that being said, I am greatly appreciated. And I listened to the people who lived in Miami Gardens, and I felt everything that they were saying, you know, especially the older people, you know, with the noise and the pollution and everything. And then I start hearing from people that lived in Miami Gardens and also had a business in Miami Gardens. And I understood where they were coming from as well. Me, myself, I do like, you know, a lot of the festivities that we have going on in town. I mean, I never looked at any other negative sides to it. All I ever saw was the fun that I've had, you know, at Jazz in the Gardens, or when, you know, the football games come to town, and how much those things impact our restaurant. Someone was talking about, you know, people coming from different places, like, you know, from state to state. We meet people from different states at our restaurant, and it's not only Black people. We meet people of all nationalities. I mean, I actually got Spanish people working in here because I need it, because I have Spanish customers that come in. So it is good for us to see diversity. I don't want to, you know, sound, you know, disappoint the people that are so against it, you know, because I really am not against it. I really, it's exciting to me. So I have to say, you know, I love it. I mean, there's nothing else I can really say about it. I love it, but I do sympathize with the people who don't want to hear. But for business and for fun and excitement, and just for the love of just getting out and getting back to some normalcy here, I don't have a problem with it.
Thank you. All right, the next speaker is Marcus Bach Arms.
Marcus.
Defer my time, Mr. Mayor.
Can you repeat that?
I will defer my time, Mr. Mayor.
The next speaker is phone number ending in 836.
Phone number 836. Phone number 836.
All right, we'll go to the last one, Ellington family.
Hello.
I thought, this is Ellery Ellington. Why am I being unmuted?
She already spoke.
Oh, yes, you already spoke. You already had an opportunity to speak, ma'am.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
All right, Mayor Council, now I'll go to the recommendation. First one, Gwen Williams, address 17031 Northwest 42nd Avenue, Miami-Gardens, Florida 32055. I would like, as a longtime resident of this city, I'm disheartened to learn about resolution 12.1, especially since the entire council never supported us in 2019. The city of Miami-Gardens deserves just as much respect as other communities who reject the Formula One racing in their backyard. However, not in my backyard. Never applies to the city of Miami-Gardens and other communities that look like us. Over the years, our elected officials have allowed corporations to have their way every term of its residents. We need representation with integrity that is willing to take a stand for us, who listens to the residents and operate in our best interest, and most of all, stands on their word. I'm appealing to the city of Miami Gardens mayor and council members to vote no in capital letters on resolution 12.1. The next one is from Lynette Hickenbottom, address 20832 Northwest 20th Avenue, Miami Gardens. I have asked you please that you read this note to the end council meeting 4/14/2021, and please place on the record, I'm asking the mayor and council members to vote no for Formula One racing. The city council members, including the former mayor and had voted against Formula One in the past. What changed? Please don't let Steve Haas run our city. Help us remove their need for arguments. Please don't throw us under this. This next comment is from Mr. Raymond Carvel. Good evening. My name is Raymond Carvel. I have lived in the council seat area number 2 since January 1990. My lovely family, we love our Miami Gardens community. We're very concerned Miami Gardens residents and would like clarity about the decision on the floor. I would like to direct our concern to Mayor Harris, Vice Mayor Leon, Councilwoman Wilson, who all previously voted against Hard Rock Stadium Formula One in 2020. I even recall Councilwoman Campbell participating in a protest against Formula One in 2020. Therefore, I do not understand how we as residents will feel any feeling besides referral to the new stance on the issue by supporting the Hard Rock Stadium special events permit. The members of the Laker Concerned community do not want nor need a concrete wall to look at. We want to be given a voice and feel valued as part of this community, something we believe that each of you can give us as trusted elected officials. I believe as residents that you each of you 7 are really here to represent all 4 districts, and will show us today that each of them are the voters' voice by voting no on Article 12.1. This comment is from Esmond Adams from number 76, 610. I would like to register my complaint as a citizen of Miami Gardens, specifically a member of the Laker Concerned community, and my strong objection to Formula One racing. Please raise the following points. The plan to build an industrial wall on the northern side of the stadium is in fact a plan to cut off my community. A plan to strangle this community. Why should I trade in a view to work on an industrial wall? Why are elected officials selling out our babies to hearing aids and mental issues by bringing in noise pollution? Why are you voting against the directors of the voters who voted you in? Please remember, you are to represent us, not the office stadium. Yes, we are poor, but this is our lives, our hard working knowledge that keeps you in office. Stand and fight for us. If you need us, please represent us on no voting vote. Thank you kindly. This comment is from Mary Pascal Josephville, address 156 Northwest 30th Place, Florida 32054. Mayor and Council, as my representative, will you kindly do everything possible to prevent Formula One racing from happening to our community? These damages include our health, welfare, well-being, evaluation of our own properties, trees, plants, flowers, animals, hearing, air pollution, mental, physical, eyesight, lung, etc., and so much more. The Formula One racing is the same as having a grenade dropped on our residents that live on those potential racing tracks. Plus, the smell emanating from the rubber on the tires, gas emissions, smoke, and the engines will pollute our community and lead years of long-term damage to health, elements, and many of us. 6, sincerely thank you to you and the other officials for protecting us, the citizens, our healthy community. With the utmost respect, keep on guard. All right, this comment is from Patricia White, address 1221 Northwest 179th Street, Line Cross Florida 33169. Good evening, Mayor and Council. It is sad that we are at the juncture again regarding the health and safety of our community. Our community should never be up to sell to the highest bidder. We deserve to live great quality of life, just like the other communities that reject Formula One. Formula One has never run in a better community in the United States. The stadium has had a lot of events that bring in many fans to our community. We suffer as residents of this because they go to the other communities for hotel recreation, therefore other communities benefit financially. Number one, there's a pending lawsuit. Why is it that we can't wait for the outcome of the lawsuit before going forward? Number two, statistics show an average of over 200,000 fans in attendance per weekend with Formula One fans. Not to mention how much time it would take to set up for the race and practice time for each race. Number 3, there are 3 current members that voted against Formula One. Our mayor, Ronnie Harris, Councilman Trina Wilson, and Vice Mayor Richard Leo. You voted no before that. What changed? You made promises while in office and during your campaigns to make the community better. This is the time to stand with the community, not take profits over the people. Stand in the gap as government that protects our community and our residents and also taxpayers. Lastly, the language of 12.2, if passed, will be a noose around our necks for 10 years. It is to benefit the HRS, not the residents. HRS have made many promises to make this look good, but it is still damaging to our community. Please vote no. Hopefully you have done your research as to how many promises the Dolphins have made to push this through. The Dolphins were offered a mighty speedway to make it their own. They stated it was too expensive for them to renovate, but it is no problem for you to continue our community millions and other amenities to run this in our better communities. Why not make it work for the mighty speedway? Thank you. Under public comment, there's one. All right, this comment is from Betty Bates, address 1361 Northwest 191st Street, Miami Gardens, Florida. Good evening. How many of you all are aware of the homeowners association named Rolling Crest Lakes Homeowners Association? If not, let me educate you on what I've been educated on myself. This association was established many years ago in the 90s. And up until today, the organization has gotten the Senator of Parking from Joe Ryan /Dolphins/Pro Player /Hard Rock Stadium, which has totaled so far at $2.7 million to go back into the areas that are heading for that. The road boats, Crescent, and Lake Lucerne. The association also has a following received. It seems as if the stadium does give back to the community, but unfortunately, we have to do the digging to find out. I spoke to a significant amount of residents, and not one of them had any knowledge of the homeowners association. Therefore, I've attached where the office is located. If anyone will want to be informed on programs like the benefit they have for the residents and informed on how the money is being spent in the community, best regards, Betty Bates. And those are all of your written communications. Mr. Mayor, we have no more public comments. There are no ordinances on the first reading, no ordinances on the second reading, no resolution public hearing. We'll now go into item 12.1. The resolution of the City Council of the City of Miami Gardens, Florida, authorizing the city manager executes a memorandum of understanding of Hard Rock Stadium and South Florida Motorsports LLC relating to certain conditions applicable to upcoming Formula One events at Hard Rock Stadium. Provided for adoption representation, provided for maintenance of Hard Rock.
We put this on because this is a memorandum of understanding with Hard Rock Stadium. We put it on for the execution. What I'd like to do right now is to have Mr. Clay please give a brief presentation on the item itself.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor and council members. Before you is item 12.1, which is a memorandum of understanding with the city, Hard Rock Stadium, and South Florida Motorsports LLC. As you've heard this evening, the memorandum of understanding does contain 2 sections. One concerning race planning and operations, and another section which outlines community benefits. In order to mitigate the disruption to the local community for the weekend, there are a number of items that are listed in the document related to race planning and operations that will be addressed. There will be no racing or no portion of the race along Northwest 27th Avenue or along Northwest of 199th Street. No race shall start prior to 2:30 p.m. on any school day. And no race will start after sunset in the city on any day. There are noise mitigation parameters set out in the agreement, air quality standards set out in the agreement. In community benefits, yes, the initial benefit package is $5 million to the city. There is a section in the agreement that says that as long as this race continues, the city will continue to receive economic benefits. The promoter is also agreeing to fund a F1 in Schools program. As you know, we are in the middle of developing a STEM center. This will be programming that will assist the operations of that STEM center. The promoter has agreed to provide paid internships for high school students, college students, and graduate students in the city of Miami Gardens. And finally, as we heard from many members of the business community, the promoter is creating and administering a program that will allow those businesses to participate in the sale of food and beverages at no cost to them, other than the cost of doing business. The promoter is also providing an allotment of tickets to be made available for the event for residents. And as you heard before, we are extending the Jazz in the Garden agreement. However, the agreement is not necessarily contingent upon Jazz in the Gardens. Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Mayor, you have a question? I still have one question. Thank you, Mr. President. I have a question for Mr. Clay. In reference to sponsorships, is there anything in there that dictates that we will not be giving any sponsorships or we won't have rights to sponsorships?
No, there is no language here that precludes us from going out and approaching any sponsor related to F1, related to our stadium, related to Southport Road Sports, for any programming or any additional fund if we so choose.
Madam Attorney, has this item changed from the previous item that came before the previous council?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, it has changed. Some of that I think the rest of the play, but the additional language regarding no waste on 27th Avenue, and in addition, the multi-jurisdictional command center at the stadium and the debriefing process that will happen after each event to make sure that community benefits have been met. Additional language. Mr. Clay mentioned, we took out a limitation on the city getting additional sponsorship to assist with the raise. Under the STEM program, initially it was only for, I believe, just elementary and middle school. We added high school students, we added additional students. The internships will be structured in a way so that the students who are interns will actually have an opportunity to get full-time employment with the provider. And again, I want to say for the record that we actually said regarding provision and agreement we added. I just want to clarify that is not their request, that was our request. We did that. So those are the changes.
And what is this item? What is this item all about? How did we get to this?
Want me to answer?
Yes.
Okay. Well, to clarify, the current zoning at the stadium allows for auto race. That is not what is before you this evening. They have a right to race. They got a new zoning code. It would have to be changed at the county. The town would make do that. If they fail, it would have to come before you, but the county needs to do that. So right now, current zoning on the property does allow them to have racing. What this is a community benefits package that they have talked to us, because to the extent they have the right to have racing. They indicated that they understand that there is some community concern from members of the council as well.
And so this document was an attempt to try to mitigate the issues that were raised, noise. Some of the things we heard were pollution, a number of things. And so the attempt was to, in this document, encapsulate all of those concerns.
Thank you. All right, now I want to move this item. I'll move that. Okay, so it's been moved and second. I'll open it up for questions and comments for the dance. I'll give the order. But before we start, I'm going to turn that to one more question. The land that, can you state what you just said in regards to the ordinance from the county in regards to race?
Well, what I was saying is that the zoning on the zoning on the stadium allows for auto racing. You're not here today to decide whether or not they can have a race at the stadium. They already have that right to have a race at the stadium.
Do we as a city council, do we have the authority to change that?
Not unilaterally, the county would have to agree to that.
Thank you. Let's start with the councilwoman Campbell. Comments and questions.
Yes, I have a lot of. When you look at this MOU and you're looking at the race planning operation component, when it says that it may take place at and around the stadium, I need clarity on that because I want to make sure I see that the adjustment is made to include 27th Avenue. So when they say at and around the stadium, that is in the stadium, or is that even around the street that's there?
One second before we answer. Can we grab the attorney? The document? Madam Attorney, do you want to answer that? Or you?
I do not know the.
Councilwoman, when you comes in, you have to repeat that for every time.
Mayor, want me to frame the question?
Yes.
I don't know, I don't know who's the best person to answer, but, Councilwoman Campbell wants to know, when we talk about at or around the stadium, no rating 127 or 199, what does that mean? Where in fact is the rate gonna be?
Here's the record out there from 1450 River Avenue. It means on the property of the stadium. Perfect access.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I will.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that last part. Is that on the property of the stadium? There.
Turnpike access.
Thank you.
And just for clarification, the state does not have control of that road, correct? The turnpike access road? You say act control over the state road? When you say control, I mean, in terms of, because Mr. Dawson stated that, it's gonna happen in the stadium and go around the turnpike access road. So if we didn't want it to take place on that access road, so you have a safety. As it relates to that question, the question becomes, if a special event permit is necessary for that portion. And if that is inside the stadium core, no. If it's outside the stadium core, they potentially would be, but that would be taken care of in this document. Thank you.
Councilwoman Campbell, is the room.
Yes, I agree. Let's look at IOB and under the same race planning operation. My next question is, it states they'll start starting at 2:30 on a weekday. Does this include practice time? So they just say race.
Yeah, that's something that's surprising. I want to stay up there for the course.
You're looking that way. Not racing, and maybe testing, cut them off from the car. There's no racing to be part of that. That's correct.
So will there be practice? What's the allocated time for practice for the race?
Let me just check on that. The allocated time for practicing hasn't been determined.
Also, if it's under the same item, I would suggest that it won't use. It is to be revamped or revised or whatnot, as opposed to saying when the race will not occur. It should say when the race will occur. Okay. And I'm gonna go on to item B. I have questions here. The first one is based on promoter. Okay, how will this be shared with the city and the community when it says the promoter shall provide air quality and noise monitoring?
One thing I can add to this here, is the Councilwoman ongoing, they can answer that, whether it was ongoing, but the briefing, that I spoke of earlier is one of the things that's what we'll be asking for. Is looking at what happened after each race, each event. What happened after the event? What did you find? What did the air quality show? How much, what was the impact? All that stuff will have to be with the man.
And the second part to that same item, what food will be provided that this monitoring is not? So,
yeah, I don't know what the food is, but okay, to provide food to the master to the degree.
So what food will be provided when this monitoring is shared?
It might be easy if we just.
The answer to your question is with a certificate from the vendor that provides the answers to the questions we provided and make sure the product post very clear.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to item F. It states in the second sentence is subject to ongoing inspection by the city. And also at the bottom it says this process is approved by the city. So will every step of this process that they're speaking of come before the council to be approved?
No, ma'am, nothing will come before you to be approved. That's speaking of the building permit process, and that is the building official person.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, now I'm going to go to the community benefits section. Item 8. And I think this is going to address it, where they talk about the 1 million upfront, say 30 days at first, and then say the portion as it is required shall be funded with the first event. You said with 50% minimum days and 30 days prior. My statement is this: if the money is there, we should be giving money up front. That's the default. And then when it goes on to say the 444,000 will be given 30 days after. I see with some adjusted names with the update. But I'm still saying the money should be given up front. Item D. It states the promoter shall create. Okay. And my question is, will the promoter meet with local businesses to welcome their input as it relates to the creation and administration of this buyout program.
Could you go back and give us which section?
Oh, sure. I want ISD under the community benefit.
He is in Baker.
He is his own.
Thank you. Okay.
And it says, it reads, the promoter shall create and administer. And my question is, will this promoter meet with the local businesses to welcome their input as it relates to the creation and administration of this buyout program?
The answer is yes.
It says the promoter shall provide for the allotment of discount tickets. Can we include free tickets? Not at this time. Not at this time, James, that's what you said, right? Okay. I think you have kind of explain F for me. Okay. So you said the city after that, so I'm good there. Okay, item G, when it says the MOU shall continue in effect for so long as promoter and HRS continue to host Formula One racing at state. Is this applying to F1 racing or Jazz in the Garden?
That's to the raising man. What we were saying is, if they extend their agreement, we still want all the community benefits that we will be getting under the MOU.
Okay, that concludes my question.
Okay, we're gonna get some clarity. So you said if they extend the benefit, if they extend the raise, so that take it to $10 million, to $5 million, so these same benefits will apply in the next contract?
If they were to do another 10-year agreement, but if they were, let's say they extended it for 2 years, it would be whatever the annual benefit that we're receiving for those 2 years.
Excuse me, that question.
I just want to make sure I understand. So should we be back to extend the lease for the racing for another 10 years? This same community benefit package will remain in place?
At a minimum, I understand what you're saying, at a minimum.
At a minimum.
Now, that doesn't
Okay.
mean we can't come back and negotiate.
Right, so that's my question. Will you be able to come back negotiating, check one of council? whoever
We
is
can
there?
add it to the MOU.
I would like to see that.
We can add that to the formal MOU. We can add that as well. We may negotiate, we.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you, Councilwoman Wilson.
I want to be clear about a couple of things, and I'd like to make sure that I say this. The initial resolution that was passed by, that has been referenced by many of the residents, that was passed by 3 of the council people. This position on the MOU in no way reverses the decision.
I think I heard you, was right, and kick down on Councilman's question. I think you asked, was the original resolution that the council considered in 2019, this is not reversing that.
Right.
No, ma'am, those were 2 different things. That initial resolution was a resolution of expression. And at that time, my understanding, you guys really did not have the studies that subsequently came about. But you had heard the concerns of the residents, and initially it was an expression of opposition based on what you had at the time. At that time, there was no benefits package. There was no negotiation. There were no credit to the business, any of that. What you have before you tonight is that the community benefits package, the mitigation of the concerns that you heard at that time, the noise. So we have, the solution, whether it's real or not. All of the things that you heard from the community. So that's what's before you tonight. So that's a different matter altogether.
Okay, so I want to be sure that it's clear.
Okay.
That what we are passing down is not a reversal. help us pass before, because the residents are saying, or at least under the impression that somehow or another, that this here is accounting to what was previously. And that's not the case.
No, it's different, because you didn't have benefits package to go for it.
This benefits package, no more a random understanding. But how- if it does Hard Rock Stadium have the right to racing? Whether they have
I haven't been asked to go to you, but it's okay. Okay. Yes, currently the zoning, they have zoning that allows the race. So what's before you tonight is not to approve the race. So to approve the benefit package that's done. And if they do go ahead with their agreement and they have the race, to mitigate the community impact.
So, just to be sure, the rates will go with or without.
Yeah, because even if there is an issue, and I just addressed it, Councilwoman Julian raised it, even if there is an issue, even if there is a special event permit that would be necessary for, if it's even outside the state before, and I'm not sure it is, but let's say it is, it would be a special event permit for that section, and if the staff ministerial package does not come out. Any of the building permits and all of that, that goes to the building official, he is autonomous by statute, no one can interfere with him, so you can't even make a decision to tell him not to issue a building permit. He has to make that decision without interference, it's actually applying to the building official. So I hope that answers your question.
I really was trying, yes, it did answer my question, and thank you. But I was really trying to get clarity for many of the residents who believe that this is a reversal of a position. When actually it is already taken place, and this is a opportunity that is being offered by the Hard Rock Stadium to enter into an understanding with the city as they go forward in having a race that they are authorized to have on their own.
Yes, ma'am.
Go to Councilwoman Yar.
I'm grateful for the opportunity to hear from our residents. And as far as I'm concerned, I want to be very clear that while this is a community benefit package, I believe that the residents have spoken, and I'm going to support the residents.
Thank you, Councilwoman Yar. Councilwoman Julie.
Mr. Dodson, section 1B, where it states no race shall start prior to 2:30 p.m. on any weekday on which public schools are in session prior to 2:30 p.m. or after sunset in the city on any day. What day does the race begin and end? Because according to this, so what day does the race begin and end, and how many days will the race be?
Referring to section B, the races are on Saturday is the main on Sunday, Saturday and Sunday. Racing also on
Saturday and Sunday are the two main days, and then parts of Friday. So in the MOU, the promoter talks about noise devices. My question is, how can we ensure that the noise will not be a hindrance? And will the promoter invest in a decibel meter of some sort to monitor the noise?
The answer is yes, there will be monitoring, and it's going to be fencing and mitigation along the canal.
What does that fencing or barrier look like?
I can't tell you how it's actually being designed at this point, but it's going, the purpose of it will be to keep the sound going across the canal. Open over it, make sure it can travel across the water.
Councilman, the noise meter that she's talking about, the decibels, who's going to monitor that? How do we know, be assured the residents know that it will be done there? And if it does exceed the said, decibels, how do we control the rate of the stop or what will be done?
There's a couple components to your question. Let me go back to what the city attorney shared. Part of the process will be all the monitoring that's taking place will be shared with the city. The city will be able to assess it, be able to determine what have a private party look at testing that is taking place, to determine whether or not the decibel levels and the noise mitigation measures that we're taking comply with what your expectations. And then during the race, we just check one thing. This will be part of the post-race recap. We don't believe, based on the races that have taken place all around the world, that we reach the levels that you are concerned about. But you will see that in the report that we provided you post the first race.
What are the practice days?
Thursday and Friday.
So Thursday and Friday, the practice days, and then the actual event will take place summer Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
That's correct.
In terms of working with the business owners to provide them the opportunity with the buyout so that they're able to service vendors at the stadium. Do you all have a relationship with the staffing agency that can help recruit like local talent to fill this job as part of the programming with this package? Or do you all have a relationship with any recruiting agency that's going to help you with staffing for this? Because I imagine this event is a huge event. And so when we think about this event, we think about jobs, we think about economic development, et cetera. How are you all going to manage that?
So we recruit for major events all the time.
Miles, can you please put your name on?
Yes, so we recruit for major events all the time. We staff it the way we usually do, and that's working with the community to recruit for them.
Miles, can you state your name?
I'm sorry, I'm Miles Pistori, the general counsel.
Thank you. So you guys don't work with an agency, you guys do it yourself?
We don't typically need.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have for you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Julie. Councilman Steve.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. Let me first start off by saying thank you to the Hard Rock City and the Miami Dolphins for the work that has been done in our community. The partnership that we have thus far as it relates to the many programs that has our residents have benefited from is I'm very grateful for. So let me first start there. I just have a few questions. Should we go in favor of this community benefit plan or package? Would it be possible once you all get closer to logistics or creating the schedule for the race and it relates to the practicing schedule and time, that information be communicated to us so that we can get it out to the residents. And keep them updated about everything that, everything related to this race.
Thank you, Councilman, for those words as you began your question. Of course, we will. Good partners do it. As soon as it's available, we make that available to the city.
I appreciate
It's
that.
done well in advance.
Yes, and I appreciate that. Thank you. My other question is relating to parking and the cars. As we speak, you all have made major, some great improvements to the property and has lost parking. Can you give me information as it relates to parking? How would we handle the traffic? If there's, go into detail as it relates to parking and managing the crowd as it relates to their vehicles.
And I would say your question is somewhat tied to the discussion we just had recently about how we hire. The good news about Hard Rock Stadium is they handle major events all the time. The parking plan is not finalized, but let me just walk you through some of the thoughts. There would be buses at major hubs, would be hotels, different other locations to bus people in to minimize the need for people to drive in to the state.
Thank you. I have no other questions.
Councilman, do you have another question?
Yeah, so I just want to piggyback off of Councilman Stevens. Should this item pass, would you guys also create a map, provide street closures and detours so that our residents know they can plan ahead? Should I?
The answer is yes.
Okay, a couple of things I have. In regard to this is more so for us, council. You guys are doing great. I'm looking to actually put together someone as an oversight committee on the dollars that are coming in, so we can make sure that they're impacting those residents in need or, community development. But put together an independent panel to actually oversee what are the dollars should be. Yeah, I know we have people that are impacted, we talk with the manager about what's the sewage issues, septic tank issues, going on, there, some of the dollars, if it was passed, it goes towards, alleviate some of the costs of those residents who have to switch over. So first up, this device, we relay that question to the city manager.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
To the vice president, councilman. Absolutely. I don't have a problem with reporting a program, putting in place plans to ensure that the money that we receive, we dedicate those funds to those types of issues in the cities. I would also offer Mr. Mayor, council member, I'm not sure if the oversight committee would be, because I will be reporting directly to the mayor and council members on that. So I don't, as your manager, I need to know that.
Can I add to that?
Go ahead.
For information, the mayor has the authority to try to appoint committees of the council to do certain things as well, which means it doesn't have to be an outside, because we appoint certain members of the day or committee, all of it is. You will leave in the sunshine. That could be.
Is there any way that it can be a part of our budget process of reporting? We can audit those ones that are brought into the committee line items that clearly believe it's gone hand.
Mr. Mayor.
Go ahead.
Yes, councilman.
Councilman Steve.
Yes, and I just want to put emphasis on, correct me if I'm wrong, the funds that we're receiving, the city of Miami Gardens, we, the council, city administration, we can do whatever we want to do with those funds. Is that correct?
Mr. Mayor.
Go ahead.
Yes, that's correct. It just go back to what the vice president, I think what he suggested that we put together an overall plan of action regarding this. So we can do that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, you have anything else to say?
I have one more question, just for clarification purposes, Mr. Dodson, on the practice days, practice is going to start after 2:30 p.m. Is that correct? It will not start prior to 2:30.
It's probably good for those who are watching to make sure that I share with you what practicing actually is.
Sure.
Practicing is not racing. It's not like you have 4 or 5 vehicles on the road racing as part of practice. Practice is not at the high speed. Practice is one car. It's not multiple vehicles racing. So that could be on Thursday. Could be before 2:30, but it will not be at all like the race. At all. During the practicing? Yes.
So schools, children will be. Children will be in school during the time that practice is going on, what's the noise?
So if someone's driving around the course, that's the practice. That's why I wanted to make sure it was clear.
Yeah, I understand the practice, I'm saying, what's the sound? Because if it happens at a certain time of the year, they're testing.
If we will work on a schedule with you with that in mind.
Okay, Mr. Clerk, so with those amendments, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Vice Mayor, Councilman, can I ask?
Yes.
Is practicing the same as qualifying time? No. You understand what I'm saying, right? Not only do I understand your question, Councilman, City Manager, I know that. But I'm glad you asked that question, because qualifying is what people might think of as practice. That's not practicing. Qualifying will not occur before students are in. Thank you.
I just want to go on record.
Yes.
The academic performance of our kids cannot be compromised with sound or any kind of disruption. And I want to say that these are going to be probably very beautiful and exciting vehicles that children will become very attracted to the district. We don't need anything to detract from the learning environment.
And we agree 100%. Thank you very much.
That's it. Call a question, Mr. Clerk.
All right, question for the item. Councilwoman Campbell.
No.
Councilwoman Adar.
No.
Councilwoman Julian.
Yes.
Councilman Stevens. Yes. Councilwoman Wilson.
Yes.
Vice Chair Leon.
Yes.
Mayor Harris.
Oh, yes.
Motion passes 5-2. We are now on to the consent agenda. Item 11.1, resolution of City Council of City of Mount Carmel, supporting Congressman Wilson's request for funding to establish a new living road fund in the city of Mount Carmel. Providing for adoption of application for one on effective date and sponsored by Mayor. Item 11.2, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Mount Carmel allocating funds to Councilman Robert Stevens, the third public service account in the amount of $588 to cover the cost of office and services for the K. Ensemble White School and to raise awareness for youth safety to be held at NC Ferguson Recreational Complex, scheduled for May 16, 2021, provided with Dr. as sponsored by Councilor Robert Stevens. Item 11.4, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Mount Carmel, Florida,
authorize the city to piggyback the National IPA, formerly TCPN, the Cooperative Purchase Network, contract number R170101 for the purchase of scoreboards and electronic signs, installation and related products and services. Authorize the city manager to issue a purchase order to Daktronics Inc. in an amount not to exceed $126,733 for the purchase and installation of new scoreboard at Edison First Recreation Complex. Provide for adoption representation required for the date is filed by the city manager. Item 11.5, resolution of the city council of the city of Miami Gardens, Florida, approving the 2022 Jasmine Garden event. Authorize city manager to negotiate and execute all contracts as may be necessary and appropriate for the production of the 15th annual Jasmine Garden event to be held on March 2022. Provide for waiver of event procedures. The purchase is made in connection with the event. Authorize city manager to execute the purchasing authority as may be necessary for the event. Provide for adoption representation. Provide for effective date is sponsored by the city manager. Item 11.6, the resolution of the city council of the city of Miami Gardens, Florida, approving the tax. This will also bring the changes to management food and annex the tract of the land described in the interlocal agreement, which is known as I-Area Estate, the annex property from Miami-Dade County to the city of Miami Gardens, and authorize the city manager and city clerk to execute and set interlocal agreement with one for instruction to the city clerk, provide for adoption representation, provide for an effective date, and this is sponsored by the city manager and item 11.7, the resolution of the city council of the city of Miami Gardens, Florida, amending resolution 2021-021-356, authorize city manager and city attorney to execute a license agreement with World Safety First to utilize city-owned property in order to administer COVID-19 vaccinations to Miami Gardens residents. Provide for adoption representation, provide for an effective date. This is sponsored by Vice Mayor Rich Leon, and that is your consent agenda.
Need a motion on consent.
Motion. Second.
Moved in second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
All right, and now on to item 11.3. A resolution of the city council of the city of Miami Gardens. For authorize the city manager to reallocate funds from capital events in the sum of $80,000 for the year 2020-2021. General fund special event budget to cover costs associated with activities and events related to the first annual Juneteenth celebration for the year 2020-2021. Provide for adoption representation, provide for effective date, and signed by council.
Let me be clear. After consulting, and this is the first time that this event has occurred, and what I did was I provided a framework of where those funds will be expected to go. With respect to that budget, that is what you have here. We have every single one of those items that money is to go. And if I'm not mistaken, I think if you're referring to your item, I don't think you had any areas on there at all as to how your money was going to be spent.
I just asked a general question.
No, but I want to be specific because what you're doing is you're referencing it. And so I want to be able to say what the parallel difference is. And I think that it was recommended by this council that you just put the budget in there, that you put the framework in there. That was the only thing that was missing on your item. And you opted not to do that because it was the first time that you were doing it. So there was really nothing there. So if you look at the two, when we first,
Mr. Mayor, Council, there are no audited to the reports of city manager, city attorney, and city clerk.
Mr. Manager.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Before we begin, I just want to ask a question. Is Juneteenth recognized as a municipal holiday here in the city? And does the staff get paid for that municipal holiday?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mr. Manager.
Yes.
It is a paid holiday.
They work on Saturday.
I don't have a verbal report, but I have provided you all with the quarterly litigation report, which is confidential, so you should have it. If you have any questions, let me know.
Seeing that it's time for 3 hours, 20 days on my.
Go ahead. All the things you need to report.
Mr. Mayor, I have no report.
Accomplishments of Miami Gardens. I was excited to have over 200 registrants, women who participated and had an amazing time. It was saying our health, our wealth matters. I think it's important that we as a council recognize not just our accomplishments, having 3 women to serve on this council, but to also recognize our everyday women who do amazing things every day, wives, mothers, doctors, lawyers, pastors. And so for the record, I'd like to just quickly, Mr. Mayor, recognize our 21 women of distinction. It was a tough decision, but we recognize 21 women in the city of Miami Gardens, and their name quickly for the record is Shalon Adams, Dr. Michelle Powell, Sonia Flowers, Almeida Parker, Rita Boontai, Marissa Mason Smith, Maggie Alvarez, Emil Howard, Tamira Bowie, Virginia Wilson, Dolores Ingrubeka, Tessie Wilson, Valerie Paul, Eva Anderson, Claudette Bailey, Bernice Tooten, L. Celeste Dunn, Shelby Rushing, Laura Jones, Kristen Dawkins, Leslie Nixon. Once again, I would like to thank the community. We've had a long night, but I want to thank the community, in particular these women who work so hard. And I want to let you know that this event will continue. I'm invested heavily in women. I am the perfect definition of what it means to be empowered, having served elected duly by the people to sit on this dais immediately after my husband. And so that's empowerment to me. And I want to be able to make sure our residents, particularly women, understand that if I could do it, they could do it too. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Congratulations to all you ladies.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Dillon.
Gotta stretch that neck. Long night. I don't have anything, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Mayor, I just want to remind people of my upcoming town hall, April 20th, tune in. And I encourage the community to listen in to the radio. There's a good information about each one of us that sits up here that represent you. Tune in, check us out, and learn more about each and every one of us. And that's my report.
I would like to take a moment just to declare that hate has no home here in Miami. Right now, as we know, as a community and as a people, we have battled against racism, we have battled against all types of discrimination, and we still continue to battle. The discrimination, no matter who it is against, when you come to Miami Gardens, we are one. And we don't want to see an Asian and Haitian, an African American, a woman, gay and lesbian community treated anything less than with love and honor and respect. And so when one of us is hated on, we all are. And so today, I'm going to take a moment and just acknowledge the fact that as we fight, as African Americans, as women, as a community, for our right to be heard and a voice, and to have our will be done, that we must stand in solidarity of everybody's right to do equally the same, and to be able to do that without hurt, harm, or fear. So today I say from this dais that hate has no home in Miami Gardens. The second thing I wanted to be able to say is kudos to my colleagues, especially, sorry you guys, especially the women that are doing the work. I am so proud to serve with you guys because every single one of you in this relay race, you run a good race. And you are putting your heart and your soul into what it is that you believe in. And I am just glad to serve. I guess one of the things I want to say, I know we have all like, I just feel this way. I want to say something to this chief here because I'm so proud of her. In the appointment of Mr. Carter, I followed that story and it was a very moving story. And he's a very powerful man from what I've seen just in his spirit. And for him to come back from where he has been is only a testimony to who he is. But for you to see it in him is a testimony to who you are. And you continue to make choices and decisions under the city manager and this administration that make us proud. And I just want to say thank you so much for the opportunity that you have given not only him, but to others that you have empowered and put in leadership position. It makes me more and more confident about the work that our police department has done, is doing, and is going to do under your leadership. So I say, good job.
And Chief, I would love for you to come to the podium and then announce what the councilwoman is really talking about, the new hirees that you have. Then we going on.
Good night to the entire council. Thank you, Mayor, for this. Basically, there were about 10 individuals that interviewed for the position, all very qualified individuals. But there were a series of different interviews that they went through. Actually, 3 different interviews some of them went through. And based on my decision, I wanted to make sure that I had some diversity. So I went ahead and I decided to hire, or under the leadership of the city manager, of course, Ricky Carter. He's a major with the Miami-Dade Police Department right now. And he's going to be, and I'm getting emotional. Because we work together with the Miami-Dade Police Department. And actually, when he had his accident, I was there after the fact with him. But he's a very special individual, very experienced individual. Like you said, he has a lot of heart. And I felt that he deserved to be a deputy chief here with the Miami Gardens Police Department. So he's one of the new persons that's coming on the police department. In addition, Audrey Cooney Brown, who's a major right now, she's going to be a deputy chief.
Major Brown, please stand. So we can see you.
And she's going to have operations. And also, I promoted Joe Nargiso, very involved in the community. He's going to be assistant chief over support. So I'm very happy with the the changes that we're going to have in the department. And I'm very happy and excited to have Ricky Carter with us, with our team. So.
Thank you, Chief. Great job.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for the support. Thank you, Chief.
Vice Mayor?
No report.
I don't have any reports.
Motion.
Need a motion?
Motion.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, we end this or join this meeting?
Nay. Nay.